What's up, good business leader? Now, there is a particular question that most bosses never ask their team. And if you've never asked it, well, welcome to the Boss Blind Spot. I'm going to show you exactly what I mean about that. And for that, and how to solve it, of course. And for that, we're going to look at something that we refer to as the culture gap map. And this might just explain why your values feel like wallpaper. There, but ignored. Hopefully they're not. So this model that I'm about to share with you is something that I learned through my values transformation consultant certification through the Barrett Values Centre a few years back. Now that is a mouthful. But when I first saw this model, it really stuck with me. And I've taken it even further because what matters isn't just the model that I'm about to share with you, it's the gap that we see in it. And that's what we need to look at, because this isn't something that most people have seen. And if it's new to you, that's not your fault, but it certainly holds a lot of opportunity. So let me show you what I mean now. Okay, so this here is the culture gap map. Now, as a values nerd, these are essentially the 4 types of values. And most people start and stop down here in espoused values. These are often called core values. You're probably familiar with them. These are the things that we say as a brand, what we stand for. They're usually created by the founder or the leadership team. Sometimes they're just once and done. Kind of like Moses going to the mountain and coming back with the stone tablets. They're set in stone, or today, they're beautifully set on the wall. And then often, they just gather dust. Now, the problem is this. There are the other 3 types of values that are shaping your culture every day, and they matter even more than the espoused values. The first is personal values. Now they're what you and your team, all of your team members, carry into work with them, and they're shaped by their life experiences. They're always present, and they're always deeply meaningful, whether consciously or unconsciously known. Right? Then we have the next one, which is the current culture values. Now these are the values that your team actually sees in action. It's not necessarily what's on the wall or on the website or in the handbook. It's what they see lived in the hallways. It's what gets repeated. It's what gets rewarded. It's what gets tolerated. Often it's very different from what's espoused. And then the third one is desired culture values. Now these are exactly that. These are the values that your team wish that the company stood for. It's how they want to feel at work. It's how they wish people behaved. And if this isn't seen or acknowledged, well, your superstars will quietly start looking for somewhere else. Right? Now, the reality is this. Culture isn't declared. Right? If you do not invite your team into the conversation, and the question that I was talking about that most bosses don't ask is, how do you see the culture and how do you want it to be? Right? If you don't consult these other 3, you'll get compliance at best from your people, or disengagement at worst. Because when people don't see their own personal values or what they want to see, which is usually hand in hand, then they aren't involved in shaping the code. They don't own it. They don't fight for it. They hold back. And that is when good people leave. So yes, you can have espoused values and they might be awesome. And you can be the glue and you can Care Bear blast those values into your team. But as soon as you're not there, holding that together like the glue that you are, it falls apart. So they're not declared, they're co-created when best. Right? So that is the boss blind spot. Now hopefully you can't unsee it, because this was the point. Awareness of this is a massive shift. Awareness of this drives a massive shift. The opportunity isn't here just to redefine your values, which you should, but to co-create your culture code with your team so that they have something that they not only believe in, but they feel invested in because they help shape. It's not a democracy, but their voice matters. Now, one of the biggest misconceptions that we see people have is that values are once and done, that they're fixed, but they're not, and they shouldn't be. Espoused values are exactly that. They're what we're aiming at. They should be held as a standard that we're evolving to, transforming to, so they should be there for the transformation. When they become inherent or superfluous, then they need to be taken out. This isn't about happy clapping. This is about high performance. So they need to evolve because we evolve. The world evolves. If you still have the exact same culture code, value set with descriptions that you did pre-pandemic, your relevance is unlikely, right? Now, that is the boss blind spot. Now, this is just one small part of our electromagnetic team framework. And our goal is to help, my personal goal is to help people thrive at work, to create a culture code that supports them, that inspires them, that unleashes their full potential so that people stay and you don't have a recruitment problem anymore. So this is why, this is our model. And there are 9 trainings, 9 frameworks, a deeper dive in each of these. What we've been looking at today purely is about behavior, values. That sits in our behavior blueprint, which is in our engage module, which is part of this core of creating an electromagnetic team that then you amplify and you get more of what you're looking for. This culture code, this is how we define the day-to-day behaviors, the actions that inspire people and guide them, not just beautifully printed values that you put on a poster on the wall. Now, if this model that we went through today hit home, download the workbook and watch this short training again, take notes, and check out the other micro trainings that are linked from the workbook, because each one of those tackles a real and related culture issue to help you build the high-performing team that every team deserves to be. Self-led, high-performing. That's our goal. Right? Now, if you're serious about transforming your team from the inside out and would like some help, it all starts with a simple, free 10-minute planning call. There's no pitch there, no pressure. It's just a real conversation between you and me about where you're at, where you'd like to go, and how we might help you get there if we're a fit. So get the workbook, the link will be in there, and check it out. Explore these trainings. Tell me how you go with them. And until next time, be unapologetically awesome. Bye for now.